Decorating Date Night with Troy and Dina. Of course, Troy is behind the camera, doing his duty oh so very well. Go ahead, say hi, honey.
Maybe I can flip this.
Come on.
Hello!
We're here in Maryland, so excited to show you what we like to affectionately call, or I should say, Mary likes to affectionately call, the museum home. Now, this home is spectacular, from square footage from one end all the way to the other. As a matter of fact, this home was custom built by Mary herself and her husband. Yes. Now, they didn't actually put the nails in, although she has done her own nailing of things together with some of the artwork that is throughout the home, which we are going to focus on. So Troy's doing a great job of panning up and around, because literally your eye will behold something in every square inch of this home. Really, it's spectacular, Mary.
Thank you.
So thank you for taking the time for joining us on this fun episode of Decorating Date Night.
Oh boy.
Now here we are in the foyer.
Right.
Now already our eyes like, oh my gosh, spectacular beauty work, from the wallpaper to the arch right above the door and to this spectacular piece. Now, is this a fireplace mantle?
No, I'm going to say we're looking perhaps at the back of what might have been on a grand buffet, maybe in a hotel.
Gotcha.
And I'm a scavenger that I found down in southern Maryland and didn't know where it was going to go. Usually don't until I get home and have fun doing the herb research.
So I'm noticing on top of it, though, it almost looks like there's a bed frame that's turned upside down.
You know what? Actually, if you want to look at a bed frame, there's, funny you should say that, because there's a footboard. Who doesn't put a footboard up in their foyer?
I love it.
Actually, what you're looking up there is those curved wood pieces were part of a vanity.
Interesting.
They held up the mirror. They held up the mirror.
Love it.
And I'm attracted to wood and carved, and it doesn't matter whether it's a part of something or just on its own. I usually will take it, put it down in what I call my antique shop, and when I'm inspired, then I'll go work on it.
Love it. So the creativity that comes from Mary's brain is spectacular, but that's a true artist, right?
Oh,
when you think of things that are just out of the ordinary, we're like, what can we do with that? And that's what I love about your home, is you've taken things that someone might discard and be like, oh, I don't want this anymore, and you see it and say, oh my gosh, there's a vision behind here, and that's what you do. So take us into your, I'm going to call this your parlor room.
I have a parlor.
I love it. So what is the most spectacular thing in here?
Oh my gosh, most spectacular is, well, there's two. All right. One is just coming into it, and this is fretwork from the Victorian times, and the way that I've got it here is how they would have used it, kind of as an elaborate entrance as you go from one room to another. But I'm a scavenger, and I don't go into fancy antique stores. I go into the rough, and the rough of this was actually in a field in Maryland where they were running an auction with a golf cart. This is down at Crumpton. Any of you are familiar with the area, you know what I'm talking about. And I wanted this so bad, and a golf cart was following from piece to piece to piece, auctioning things off so quickly, I was nervous. So I literally stood right in front of this piece, and this one dealer, high-end dealer from Pennsylvania, is behind me, and he knows I want this, and he knows I'm nervous. He gets behind me, and he starts raising up my hand on purpose.
Oh!
Everybody's laughing at me.
Kat is watching. She said it was a little hard to hear us. I boosted the audio, but also make sure that you're as close to the mic as possible, I guess.
So you stood literally in front of
Yes,
this?
yes. And everybody's laughing, including the auctioneer, and I did get it.
Ah,
and I felt
victory for
yay,
Mary!
yay. So my husband didn't know. Somehow I managed to get this into my Toyota Previa at the time.
So real quick question. So I'm noticing all the detail, but in order for you to make it fit your opening, you did have to slice a little.
This piece, I was lucky that I found it before the house was constructed. So I could have this exact measurement.
Gotcha.
To do that. So I didn't have to do any slicing here. However, if you come over here, this piece was sliced, and I took it out of an area that I knew you wouldn't miss the design. So if you look closely, I sliced here.
Gotcha.
right?
Yeah.
So that's what I
Very
did.
good. Awesome. Love that. Okay, so now I want to go into, now I've been in this home and I was like, oh, we've got to do an episode of Decorating Date Night. This is spectacular. And so Mary agreed. Now I want to take us into the formal, they don't call it the master anymore, the primary bedroom, but then into the
I
primary
didn't know
bath.
that changed.
I
still call it the
know,
master.
I do too. So lead us into there, Mary.
And while we're walking, those on Facebook Live, let us know if you can hear it better now than you
Yeah.
could initially, because I made an adjustment. I'm just wondering if it worked.
Come into the primary bedroom.
Yep, love the beautiful. See, I think this is spectacular. Your wallpaper, so pretty,
Thank
so pretty. Into the dressing room.
Right. Antique door.
Antique door.
Right.
Wonderful.
Oh,
Oh, and really pretty.
and then you want me to tell the story of my lighting?
Okay, so one of the things that I love about Mary's house is nothing is just ordinary. Everything is extraordinary, and everything has a story, which you know, if you've watched any of our episodes, I love when there's a story behind something because it just makes it more personal that way. It makes a house become a home. That's
is a home.
really the difference, right?
Yes.
So tell us a story about this magnificent light. When I saw this, I was like, oh my gosh, we've got to feature it.
Okay, so I started off with these. See the lamps here?
Yep.
Don't they look very similar to what's going around up there?
Yeah.
Okay. My husband and I were stationed in the military in West Germany. And his relatives, he's firstborn in the States. They're German, some of them are. And anyway, they took us to northern Bavaria where the crystal factories are and stuff. And I fell in love with these lamps. And I got them home in my suitcase with dirty clothes. Dirty clothes make great packing
Yeah, they
material.
do.
Nobody wants to touch my dirty clothes. They're going to open them up, but these made it back just fine. So my husband is a very good handyman. He hung these up for me, all right? So then a few years later, I'm on my way down towards southern Maryland, again, just probably doing some work with Mommy's Sky to do some refinishing.
Okay.
And I stop off because there's an antique shop before you get to the Potomac River. And they happen to be having vendors on the outside, just selling stuff, just maybe for the day. This was in a box for only, what do you think?
Okay, because the way you're positioning it, I'm gonna say $300.
$15.
No. All right, now I must say that tops any deal I have ever gotten. You are the queen of deals, Mary.
My husband likes that.
Yeah.
But look, it's a dead match, so it had to come from the same area. And here it was years later,
And a different location.
in Maryland versus Germany. Right. If this had been, if I found it in Germany, yeah, I would have paid probably what you just said.
Oh,
Right.
oh, and
Right.
that alone for the shipping to get it
Oh,
home.
it wouldn't have happened.
It wouldn't have happened.
It wouldn't
so
have
it
happened.
was meant to be.
Right.
But that, I love that story. I love that whole behind that. And so you'll notice the colors that Mary has chosen. They're all my colors. I love these warm tones, the earth tones.
I like the forest colors.
Love the forest colors. But the thing that you've done in your home, which I love, is you've unified spaces and connected spaces with
Yes.
that color.
Right.
So from here all the way into here, and then Troy, if you'll pan over to over the tub area, you'll notice that she's got these gorgeous stained glass windows, which then draw your eye up. Visually, your eye then goes up to showcase the chandelier, which of course has those colors. So kudos to you, Miss Design Decor Decorator. That was awesome. I know that's so subconsciously you probably don't even think about it, but it just kind of happens, right?
I think what we like doesn't change that much. We're drawn to favorite colors and wood tones, and so it all will blend together. I think sometimes people worry too much about things being matchy-matchy. Just be drawn to what you like, and there's a commonality to that.
Perfectly. Couldn't have said it better myself. All right, so now the last space we want to touch on in this episode of Decorating Date Night takes us actually down into the basement, which is not a basement. It's an actual regular living space because to the back of your house, it's beautiful and it's a complete walkout.
That's why we purchased the lot, because we
Yeah.
were after a walkout setup.
So let's go down there.
Let's go down.
And we'll see what goodies Mary has down there. So you can behold this. I'm sure Troy will kind of be panning around. You can see.
And you've got a comment saying, beautiful home.
Oh, 100%, right? Spectacular home. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. I'm gonna have to pick your brain with who did I need somebody to lay wallpaper.
I will tell you, I hopefully the gentleman is still around.
Okay, I hope so too.
Because he really was good.
He was good,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. That was pre-COVID, so we'll have
Yeah.
to see if I can still find him. Come on now. And I wanted an open staircase.
Yes,
Because I wanted to
love
have the
this.
feel that we weren't necessarily going down in the basement.
Right,
You know.
it just feels like another level of your home, which
There
it
you
is.
go. Exactly.
And so I have to really quick ask you.
Yeah, go ahead.
These are spectacular.
Oh, yeah, the old Newell's.
Now, did you have this before you built the home? or-
Yes,
Okay.
those two I found. One I found in Chicago, and it was all painted white. And then the other one I found actually in a cute little town along the Chesapeake.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And so you came in, so these were able to go in as you were building?
Yes, yes. These I was able to, I knew exactly where they were gonna go. Right. Yep,
Awesome.
yep.
Awesome. All right, well, let's continue down. Again, this extraordinary artwork on the walls, all the attention to detail. Everywhere you look, your eyes like, oh my gosh, there's something else to see.
You know what these are?
The Stations of the Cross?
Yes.
Yeah, and so you put mirrors in.
Yes, I turned them into mirrors.
Girlfriend, we're gonna be in trouble when we go shopping together. I love that. Whoa, that's fantastic. And as you come down to the bottom of the stairs, you'll kind of walk right into, I'm gonna call it a china cabinet, but it's not, it's a display case. But you'll notice when Troy comes down, you'll see that at the bottom of the staircase, she has one similar on the first floor. And again, it's that repeating of the pattern, repeating of the, and she even has it in some of the artwork that then brings your eye around so that everything makes sense from a design standpoint. Well done.
By the way, if people don't know what that is, it's Vaseline glass or uranium glass, and you do a black light. And it's a unique glass that they didn't know would do that.
Uranium. Is it enriched uranium glass?
I think it's like 2%. Don't put it in the microwave and don't eat off of it. So,
Good to know.
okay, yeah, right. I wouldn't do that. So anyway,
Looks like
we're gonna
kryptonite.
Come on through the rec room.
Okay, so you'll notice, again, all the different artwork, everything is themed and everything kind of has a place and a space. So that brings some order to it, so it doesn't just look like stuff is hodgepodge and chaos. And that's really the key design element when it comes to design and decor. You can have a mix and match of
Right.
different things.
There's all kinds of stuff going on.
Right.
Yeah.
But it makes sense when you group it together and then you visually bring your eye from one thing to another so there is a transition.
Right, and I do look at, when I'm really doing a major thing, like a paint color, I will stand in one room and look into that room just to see if there's a nice transition
Yes.
between the colors, wallpaper, or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's
Right.
so important.
Right.
And again, another theme in Mary's home is, so she draws your eye up with a lot of things. So she's got the tall archways, but she doesn't waste that design element or the architectural element. Instead, she highlights it. Troy, I don't know if you can get the two corner pieces, and then if you pan up across, you'll notice above her sliders, she has another chunky piece of wood, which again, is a topper, right? But
This
it-
one, I think, actually was a header
Gotcha.
for a huge window.
Yeah.
I think that actually was a header. I found that in the top of a loft of a barn in Pennsylvania.
That is
Follow me.
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And again, a feature to have a fireplace right in the middle of the room, that's just a great design element. That looks great. So you're making your way into what I'm going to call the saloon, the billiard room.
The pub.
The pub,
It's the
okay.
pub.
Mary's pub, we'll call it Mary's
Right.
pub, or Mary and Chris's pub. Antique drawers, I take it?
Oh, yes. I
Okay.
found those in Ellicott City.
Okay, so were you able to just put those on after the fact, or?
No, those I found. I was lucky. The pieces like doors
Yeah.
and window, antique
Mhm.
window surrounds,
Mhm.
those I had before I designed the house. And I did it if I had a CAD program or knew how to do that, I'd be really making my life easier, but I just do it on graph paper.
Right, okay.
So to make sure everything fits.
Right.
So I was very hands-on as far as
Wonderful.
just saying, it goes
Yeah.
there, yeah, whatever, yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, so take us into your room here. What do we want to talk about?
All right, so, well, there's all kinds of stuff. We love the pub, we love hanging out here. This is a place where we usually end up when people are coming over to visit.
Yeah.
And my husband, if you could look around the house, you'll probably see it's a scrapbook of our life, of our travels. And my husband, because we were in the military, we're all over the place. After he left the military, he had a job that took him still away from home, and he ended up in Dubai. All right, 'cause I'm getting to a story here. All right, so I go visit him, which was a real treat, and we go to the souk. On the way to one of the souks, there was a gentleman, roadside salesman, and he's selling rugs. All right, not real high-end rugs, but they're really nice. And I bought one for only $50. My husband had no idea where I was going to put it because it's so big, and I said, I'll figure it out. So I leave him, and when he comes back from that 6-month adventure that he had, I made him go look for it, and this is where I put it.
So this is one of the most spectacular things I've ever seen done with a rug. So what Mary has done is she's actually turned it into a pool table cover. This is what I would love to do at our house, honey, now, you know. Hint, hint, I'll be on the look for a rug. So the fact that this rug literally lines up perfectly.
Yeah, that was lucky.
I mean, my goodness
Yeah,
gracious, but
yeah.
you know what? Those are the best things. And so you
Right.
literally just, is it all right if I pull this out?
Yeah, sure.
So it's literally over just what you would
Right.
have on your
Right.
pool, which is what I have on my pool
Right.
table. But this totally dresses it up.
I know, and
I
it's
love
like
it.
having, well, instead of the carpet on the floor, it's covering up a big piece of furniture with
Right.
kind of a board. There's so much going on,
Right.
and then you got this boring vinyl cover.
Yeah,
So
no, that's
I'd rather
beautiful.
look at this.
Yeah.
And what's nice is that it's not a thick one, so it just lays like a tablecloth.
Like just a piece of fabric.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the other thing is you could make something like this if you found a real
Sure.
nice tapestry fabric
Sure,
that
you
had
could-
a repeating
exactly.
pattern. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so we
Yeah.
might hit fabrics go together too.
Mhm. No, I like that idea.
All right, so what else do we want to highlight in this
Oh
room?
my goodness. Let's see. This piece is really unusual. Can you see it? I know it's kind of dark. We keep the pub kind of moody. That's right. I like the atmosphere of a
Yes,
darker pub.
yes.
This piece I did find before we built the house. We wanted to have the pub seen from the rec room, but we wanted it separate because, you know, when we were here, the kids are younger. It's just a way of keeping light and seeing each other, but still separate. And so we had this big window that was going to be here. I'm antiquing in my home state of Iowa, and actually I wasn't antiquing then. That's right. I was shopping for clothes. And up in the ceiling of one of the local stores there was a fishnet with this in it. It was not for sale, but I asked the lady, I knew what it was. It's an incredible piece of fretwork. And what's so lucky is that it's like these fragile tinker toys. And it's not broken. I mean, normally this stuff gets trashed, and she had it hanging up, the owner of the store, in a fishnet, because it's a lake area, and I said, can you call up the manager? I think I want to see if she would sell it to me. And the price I got it for was incredible, because I know what these can go for.
Sure.
And so it came back in a crate with another piece that I found close by, and that was the side-by-side of the old secretary.
Yes.
Right.
And again, so you repurposed, who would think to put a secretary in their saloon or pub room?
Right.
But again, it just goes down to, you loved it, you're
Yes.
like, I'll find a place for it,
Right.
and you do.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really
Yeah.
the key to turning any sort of a house into a home, is you find what you like, or find what you love. Actually, that's another
Yeah.
mistake. A lot of people will compromise. I've been known to do it
And
too.
me, even me.
Yeah,
It was
so
some-
you go, I need to fill a space, and then you'll you'll compromise, and then you find yourself buying something anyway,
You
right?
can't force it.
Yeah.
You can't force it,
Yeah.
because you're right, you'll find something else you like better. And like I said, it's the fun part is when you find something you really like, and then puzzling it into your home.
Yeah,
And then the best compliment is when someone says it looks like it was always supposed to be there.
Ah, you took the words right out of my mouth.
Right.
When you're doing anything in your home,
Right.
especially if you're doing some sort of an addition or anything like that, if somebody says, oh, I didn't know that that wasn't already there. Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes I'm mean, and I'll say, go find something that's new or / old in the room. And people just, it's like a Where's Waldo?
That is true, that is
Right.
true. You probably know every single thing that is in your house, right?
Yeah, sure.
Well, we appreciate you allowing us to come into your home for this episode of Decorating Date Night. If you were to give anybody any sort of piece of advice when it comes to antiquing, what would you say?
Don't be intimidated. Don't be intimidated. When you go into a store, most dealers are there because they love what they've been collecting and are selling. And if you see something, just make an offer, but only if you really love it.
Right.
And don't worry about where it's going to go. Figure that out later. That's the fun part.
That is the
That's the fun part.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to Decorating Date Night with Troy and Dina. I'm here with Mary at the house that is also known as the museum. I'm going to flip that camera around so we can do our proper goodbye. If it'll, there we go. You want to get in the shot with us? Well, thank you so much for joining us. Bye for now.
Mwah.